Welcome to this episode of Video Drone by DIY3DTech.com. We're here at the bench. We've got the Mavic and we got a new box in from Neweer. So these are some new filters that I ordered for the Mavic Pro. So I was going to do a little bit of an unboxing. Filters, I guess, are filters, but just kind of show you what comes in them. So I'm going to move this over here. And we got this installation requested. Please let the filter cover the gold thread on the lens when installing, or your drone will report a camera gimbal error resulting in it cannot work properly. Attention, if the filter does not pass gimbal initialization, check if the filter is mounted in place. If it still reports error, please remove the filter and check the lint on the inner side of the filter is stuck on the lens. If so, you could fix the lint back in place by hand or reinstall. Alright, that's interesting. You can tell that was photocopied and inserted. And we have instructions in English, German, Italian, Japanese, and French, and Spanish? Yeah, I think Spanish, yep. So that's what we have. Now let's get down to the actual filters. So here we go. They come in a nice box, and that's what they sort of look like in the nice box. And whoops. So here we go. So now in this collection we have several NDs, UV, and a polarizer. And I'm taking it from the looks of these that let me take a look at this, get it out without getting my fingers on it. So this is an ND16. Now, one of the pieces I want to do is I've got my ND64 on here. Now I know my ND64 works. And this is a Pytech, if you will. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull this off. I'm going to grab a hold of the back here and then use my 3D printed tool to pull this off. And kind of drop it on the bench here. I can pull it apart and kind of show these newer filters definitely appear to be a little bit smaller. So tell you what, let's find out for sure. So I've got let's see, we're looking at 6.5 for the, I think, Pytech, or the 64, and we're looking at 5.5. So let's do this again, just to double check. 6.5 and 5.5. So if you hear a weird noise in the background, that's just the sump pump running. It's a little bit rainy weather here in Michigan. So these are about a millimeter shorter than the other one, so it's a little bit smaller. So let's check the inner diameter. And we're at about 22.2. I just suspect that they're going to be the same. And no, they're not actually. So I'm about 19. I'm a little short of 20. And just do this one again. And this one is 20.3. So a little bit of difference. I want to see about inserting this one on here, so I'm going to grab this, and it definitely fits snugger than the other one. But notice this gold rim, and I think this is what they're talking about. Filter has to cover the gold threads. I want to get the lock and put it on here. This one is fitting a little bit tighter. Okay, so I went and got the mount, a regular mount, and placed it on there and locked this in so I could safely put more pressure on it. And I'll see if I can't zoom in, but you can see I'm now past that gold ring. It took quite a bit more force than this guy to press on. So I think something to be aware of with this. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to remove this and just let it go through its setup and see if it what it does. Obviously I can't hold the drone on its end to let you see what it does while it's doing its thing. So it apparently doesn't hit, and it's gone through its setup routine, and it didn't seem to have a problem in the setup routine. I've had them before where when it does the twist, it hits. and this didn't hit, so that's a good thing. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to power this off, and once it's powered off, I'm going to flip this back over. So that fits on there pretty good, so I'm relatively pleased. We'll have to do some flight tests with this just to make sure that these work well. And again, let's put this in here, lock this back on. And this is really on there snug. That's a lot, because with this one, and I want to put it on with my fingers, just it just almost no pressure, and it's kind of like a fell grip on here. So when I press this one on, I typically press it on and I do a little twist as I covered in the other video, but you see how this one will actually even pull off with the tool holder, and I've got to actually, what I do with this one is actually push it on there with the tool holder, pry it off, then I use this to kind of press it to make sure it's pressed back. So a lot less pressure, but this is definitely far snugger. So snugger, is that a word, snugger? But anyways, with this again, you get, let's pop a few of these out. I want to recall, I think it was like 3 NDs. And so this one, I think the printing, so that's an ND8. I got an ND16 on there, and I think this one is, this is a circular polarizer. This is likely going to be the UV, because it looks basically clear. And yep, that's the UV. So this is the other ND that we have. And we're just going to take a look at this. And yep, this is the ND4. So ND8, 4, 16, circular polarizer, and a UV filter. So you might be asking, why did I buy these? Good question. Well, actually, because I already have a circular polarizer, and I've actually got a nicer circular polarizer than this one. And I got the ND64. Now, I don't have the other NDs, so they might be handy. I typically don't use ND filters a lot. I've been doing stuff with the ND64 for more dramatic effect, as you'll see in various videos coming up. So I've been using it a lot, actually, the 64, and I want to find even higher ones. But what I wanted these for actually is the case. So I want to make my own filters, and I'll talk about that a little bit more in an upcoming episode, but I wanted to share these with you because if you're just looking for some economical filters for your Mavic, these might be worth a shot. They weren't very expensive. I picked them up off of Amazon. I'll have a link below. And for the complete set, you can't really complain, getting 3 NDs, a circular polarizer, and a UV. And it's good just to have the UV filter on anyway, just to protect the lens of the camera on the Mavic anyhow. So hopefully you found this interesting. If you did, give it a big thumbs up. Let me know in the comments below if you've had these, what you thought about them. And like I say, in a future video, we're going to talk more about how we can actually modify these, because that's what we're going to do. We're going to modify. That's what we're all about, making things better. So anyways, let me know what you guys are thinking about for lunch. Give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, because the subscribe button is going to be coming up over there. And as I get all choked up about this, we'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers.